I want to find out from both of you now, are there any bright spots at all you see so far? I think you mentioned security. You think you think that's been a great point. What about you?
Corruption. We've made some gains in that regard. I mean, you can't
say no convictions or even prosecution.
Yeah, but the fact that people are no longer flaunting their wealth out there, putting it in our faces, it's a good first step. I mean, people are scared these days of. So fighting corruption is a bright spark.
Yeah. You don't agree?
I don't agree. I think if they are sacred cows, if you're fighting corruption and then there are some people around you who are similarly corrupt, who allegations have been brought about, and then you're not doing anything about it, I don't think that if you're going to fight corruption, fight it across all boards.
But the judiciary has to be doing it.
Yeah, the judiciary has to do their job. But then first of all, if you're going to, let me use an example, if you're going to convict, if you're going to put the EFCC on somebody who's a member of the opposition party, and then other people who are in your party who have the same allegations, you're not doing anything about them, what kind of corruption are you fighting? If you're not fighting it,
but like you said, that is not under Buhari's purview, is it? Isn't it the EFCC we should be blaming for that?
But then the EFCC are taking directives. Let's be honest. Let's say the truth. The executive still holds the most powers. The executive still holds the most powers. If the president decides now prosecute that guy, even if it's illegal or whatever, if the president decides some people have to be prosecuted, they will be prosecuted.
Allegedly.
The president decides.
Let's make this allegation.
Oh, okay. If you want to make it allegation.
Just so we're clear.
But the courts are doing their job. He can't interfere with the workings of the judiciary.
Are the courts doing their job though? Because the judiciary has come a lot under scrutiny in the last couple of years with delays and adjournments, and a lot of we had 2 judges were suspended this past week for bribery issues as well. I'm not saying every judge, of course, is corrupt, but that's probably the one arm of government that Nigerians need the most. Yeah. Have they impressed you?
No, they haven't. And if you listened or read the president's speech yesterday, there was also a line where he said, "Look, he can't stop talking about judicial reforms," which tells you something that sometimes I think he's frustrated with the pace that the judiciary goes in terms of these corruption cases. But look, it's a democracy. I mean, he has to just live with it until we get to that point where the judiciary is reformed. So we have to live with it.
I just want to get from both of you now what you think will be happening with Nigeria by the time we turn 57, a year from now. Recession still, which might be leading to a depression, which is a whole other level, because I think a depression is 2 years of recession. Do you think that's where we're heading? Do you think we're going to come out of it like the Minister of Finance and most people in government have said that by the end of the year, we will start seeing a progression in the GDP again?
I'm not very good with economics and all that, but there's this belief that we have, we're survivors, Nigerians, we're all survivors and all that. And I believe that something will definitely give, and then we'll get out of this recession. Now they've been talking about there has been news that we're going to sell some assets. I don't know how true that is. Some of the president's spokesmen have said, are they official news? No, but some assets are going to be sold. Moves are going to be made to get Nigeria out of this recession, and we do not want to get into that depression. We might not see signs, but then we know this country, the communication has always been a problem between the presidency and then the people. So hopefully things are being done. The economic team is being run by people who I hope are going to live up to their reputation and then try to get us out of these conditions we're in.
What do you think? I mean, they're pumping a lot of money into infrastructure from what we're hearing. The money supposed to be spent this year in infrastructure, almost 200 billion, which is like, I don't know, probably 2,000% of what was spent last year in infrastructure. Would you think things like that are going to help us come out of this?
And that's a good thing, by the way, because to get out of a recession, you first have to spend your way out of it. So I think the money going into infrastructure, it will take some time for us to begin to see the signs. But it's a good thing that we are spending on infrastructure, because the kind of infrastructure this country leans on is horrible. It's not the kind of infrastructure that will reflect the economy, that will propel us into the kind of economic growth that we want. So it's a good thing that the government is tackling infrastructure. I also, he spoke about how long it took, how difficult it was for him to register his business. I think the vice president has also been speaking about the ease of doing business and all of those things, and the emergency power that the president is seeking and all of that. So I think by the time we begin to get these laws out there, and deal with our laws and all of that, I think things will begin to improve.
Yeah.
But I think it will take some time before we get out of the recession. We won't get into a depression, but we'll get out of the recession.
You better not. We're talking earlier about the fact that he might have started slowly, but it looks like he has picked up pace, according to Jude. 2019, of course, is still a while away, or not, depending on who you're asking, because, I mean, Nigerian politics, most times a year and a half before elections, most things shut down. So by 2019, I mean, so many promises were made by this government. They've told us to give them time to 2019 to fulfill a lot of these promises. We're hearing the power generation is at 7,000 megawatts all of a sudden. We're hearing so many figures, we don't know if we're actually seeing these things. Do you still have faith that by 2019, a lot of these things would have come to pass?
Okay, so there was this prediction I made just before the elections, the 2015 elections. I saw that. I knew that whoever won, Nigeria was in for a long time, and I was thinking 1 or 2 years of darkness and then hopefully light. And I'm still hopeful. I've always said that I don't see how it's going to happen. I don't know what the moves that are being made and all that. But then I'm still hopeful that before the next what's it called, Democracy Day, we're going to start seeing signs that things are going to get better. And then hopefully by 2019 would be in a country that we can all be proud of.
2019?
2019, if this is like a referendum, the economy is like a referendum for the APC. It had better get it right. If it doesn't, voters will have a good reason to vote it out. So the APC knows that, I mean, it doesn't want to do one term at the center. So it has no choice. The party has no choice but to get their acts together and get the country working, because Nigerians are angry. They are vexing right now. Like
Nigerians are angry. Nigerians are hungry. Nigerians are not. I mean, a lot is happening. And trust me, based on what happened in 2015, 2019 is going to be very interesting, and Nigerians will be waiting at the polls. Thanks very much, Chidi. Thanks very much, Jude, for being here today. And thanks for watching, guys. Remember, like I said, to follow the match at 4 p.m. Rangers versus El Kanemi Warriors. Hopefully, the Rangers are crowned champions after 32 years. And make sure you do celebrate with us. That doesn't count. But like I always say, you can follow the conversation on Twitter. YNaija TV is the handle. The hashtag to follow is Rubbin Minds. You can also visit the website, ynaija.tv. Remember, you've never seen young people talk like this before. I'll see you next week.